Those Dallas Cowboys.
My team. Win or lose, it's my team,
Do or
D-Dub. I
die.
love me some
Do
Dallas
or
Cowboys.
die. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the free agents that we have. That these are players that have don't have a contract coming up. I
Mhm.
believe March 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
We're going to become free agents. We want to discuss these guys and whether we should keep them or whether
Mhm.
we should basically let them walk.
Yes, sir.
So we got long list. Got 21 players, and there's 21, and then one that we definitely need to talk about, and then we'll talk about him at the end. But he's not on the list of free agents. I'm sure you know who I'm
and
talking
and
about.
and if you have them as I believe I do, the exact same people, it's actually 19 unrestricted free agents, and there are 2 restricted free agents
Okay, yeah,
on this.
just
And
let
that
them
and
know
that's
when. Let me know
yeah.
when I get to him. When we get to him,
Okay.
case. All right. So first off, we're going to start with Dalton Schultz, and we've just talked about Dalton Schultz, and he was
Mhm.
one that I said last year that I did not want him to walk. I did not
Mhm.
want him to walk. Now that was the 2021-22 season when I was saying that. And then
Mhm.
they went on and franchised him, and I was cool with it. But at this point, he is one of 4 tight ends that we have, the best of
Mhm.
the 4,
Mhm.
made 10.9 as a 10.9 million as a franchise player, but
Mhm.
he's probably gonna ask somewhere around 12 to 13 million. Dalton Schultz, you keeping him or you letting him walk?
I gotta let him walk. As much as I do not want to, I gotta let him walk. I'm letting him walk because, as you said, his current salary was franchised 10.9 million. His market value is going to be at least 15 million.
Yikes.
It's going to be 15 million. And my tight end room, D Dub, my tight end meeting room, it ain't too shabby.
Yeah, exactly.
It,
Exactly.
it, it ain't it ain't too shabby. And as much as I love Dalton Schultz, it's not like he is a Kittles or a Kelsey or
Mm-hmm.
and I love him. Don't get me wrong, I love him, but it's not like he's a Kittles or a Kelsey. He
Mm-hmm.
went 53 reception for 577 yards and 5 touchdowns, 10.1 average. Okay, as a as receptions, and we I may be lumping them in with the wrong, with too many wide receivers here, but he's tied for 60th in the league with the number of receptions. So as much as I love him and as much as he uh was the go-to and safety net for Dak Prescott, I do believe that there are a couple other players in that tight end room that can fill the void without me giving up 15.1 million and having it hit towards my salary cap. So I got to let him go. What say you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, the problem is the drop off isn't that great to
Exactly.
the second or third best tight end that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So although I'm going to miss him, and he has some rapport with Dak, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can let him walk and feel somewhat good about it. Now I don't want him to go to another team and get in the mix with Kettle and
Yeah.
Kelsey, or Kittle rather, and Kelsey, and
Mm-hmm.
become one of those top 3 or 4. But I'm willing to take that risk at this point. I just don't want to. I just have a problem with paying that much money to Dalton Schultz, um,
And
where we're
and
at right
if
now.
he does do that, I'm going to look at Jake Ferguson and I'm going to look at Hendershot and I'm going to say, look, guys, look at your boy. You can't let him show you up, can you?
Right.
Let's do this. That's what
No
I would do.
question. No question. All right, next.
All right.
Anthony Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Cornerback Anthony Brown. You keeping him or you letting him walk? Tough one.
AB,
Tough one.
the AB that no one knows as AB. But AB, I gotta let you go. I don't want to, but I gotta let you go. Your salary right now is 5 mil. Okay. If we resign, you're gonna want more. Uh I gotta be honest, you didn't impress me as a corner. You didn't play bad, but you didn't impress me. And you did play. You played 12 games, and then you got hurt. And I definitely can't knock you for getting hurt, but you got an Achilles. You got a torn Achilles injury.
That's big. That's what I was going to
Yeah,
bring up. That's big.
and you got a torn Achilles injury. So now I'm going to re-sign you for market value of a cornerback that gave me 12 games, got hurt, and when you did play that 12 games, you didn't impress me. You were a corner. So I love you, brother, but I gotta let you go. What say you?
Yeah, the Achilles thing scares me.
Mm-hmm.
People can either get back to where they were, or they can drop off a lot. So I don't know if there's too many that will be better after Achilles. You can probably get back to where you were, but he wasn't that great. I mean, he was a good second cornerback on this team, but he wasn't. He was never great. If he wants to come back for less than that $5 million for 1 year, I'd be okay with it. We do have an issue at cornerback. So let's say we cut that in half at 2.5 for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Given the fact that I got issues with that Achilles, I want to see where you're at with that Achilles.
Right.
I'm all for it. 1 year, I'm all for it. Other than that, if you're talking 8 million, 10 million,
Oh no,
I'll have to go and let
no,
you.
man.
I'll have to go and let you walk. Yeah, I'll let
And,
you walk.
and you're not even there, Anthony Brown. I love you, but you're not that type of corner.
Yeah, I'll say he was still our second best, which is somewhat of a drop off. I don't know if it's drop off anymore with Trayvon, but he was our second best cornerback. Now, Deron Bland may have something to say about that now.
Oh yeah,
Now with his ascendance
I
at
like me some Duran,
the cornerback, but
but we're talking
yeah,
about free agents. I like me some
yeah,
Duran
yeah.
though.
But as far as Anthony Brown, unless you want small money, given our cornerback situation, no, we'll have to let him walk.
Yeah.
All right, Dante Fowler Jr., $3 million. Did he do anything for you this year?
Uh yes, he did enough. He did enough. Okay, he had 22 solo tackles, 6 sacks. Uh I don't want to pay him too much. However, I still I don't want to lose my defensive line. That's one of the spots that I gotta keep. I gotta keep together. I gotta keep gelling. I gotta keep improving on it. And if I'm going to let him go, I can't just get him. I can't replace him with just a draft pick. He is good enough to where I can't just say, oh well, I can get me a draft pick with the 26th pick in the draft and replace Dante Fowler. So with that being said, I say keep him, but don't pay him too much. What say you?
Um, yeah, I would want to keep him for for very little and for a short amount of time, simply because I don't have defensive end as one of those places that I want to draft at. That's
Right.
one of the positions that I'm not interested in trying to uh, replenish, if you will. I
Mm-hmm.
want them to kind of stay as they are, even though it's not the greatest, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take a step back. Let's see,
Exactly.
what did he have? What did he have? I'm gonna bring up his stats. Do you have his stats in front of you?
Yeah. What they have on ESPN was 22 solo tackles, 6 sacks, which is ranked 55th, tied for 55th in the league, 2 forced fumbles, and he did play a full season for us. So I mean I like him. I
Yeah.
like him. And to your point, I can't go backwards in my defensive line, especially my DNs. I can't go backwards. I either got to improve significantly or keep what I have and have them gel and become the beast that I know they could be.
Yeah, so let's see. Defensive end, I got Demarcus Lawrence, Sam Williams, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, and Chauncey Golston. So I got 5 defensive ends on my team. So if you let him walk, you'd have 4, and Chauncey Golston and Sam Williams are your backups. So he's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I would say I'm kind of with him. With him, I'm going to say the same thing I said with Anthony Brown. If you can keep me under 3 million,
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 years, I think I'm okay with you. But if you're talking about more money, and he's 28 years old right now, if you're
Mhm.
talking for more money, I can probably still be okay if I let him walk. So that's my thinking with Fowler.
Mhm.
All right, Leighton Vander Esch. This should be good. Leighton Vander Esch made $2 million last year.
Yep.
Played out of his shoes this year. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's up and down. I got to tell you, this Leighton Vander Esch is an up and down type dude.
Yeah.
First year,
Mhm.
knocked us off our feet as a first round pick.
Yes, absolutely.
Then started getting hurt. Then
Yep.
take a few steps back.
Mhm.
He had to take, and he became a free agent. Then he had to take a small amount of cash to stay,
Mhm.
which again, that's that 2 million, and we kept him. And now we're back to, he's a good player. He's a good player again. We got to keep
Mhm.
him.
Mhm.
Do we have to keep LVE?
I say yes. And this is why I say yes. Now I'm with you. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, and it's a little bit of a gamble. Okay. Leighton Vander Esch played very well at the beginning of the season. Then he fell off a little bit. Then he got hurt. And when he got hurt, we went, whoa. We didn't realize just how big of a hole that we
Exactly.
had.
Exactly.
we,
Yeah.
we didn't realize how big of a hole we had at linebacker until he came back.
Right.
And he came back and played well against even the 49ers. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a situation to where you go, you don't know what you don't want you know what you're missing until it's gone.
Right.
It's like until you don't have it anymore. And having that spotlight put on my linebacker meeting room when he was gone, I said, okay, now I got to keep him to make sure I don't fall backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I got to keep him to make sure I don't fall backwards. So with that being said, I say we keep him. We do some negotiating with him. He's been around us a little bit. We can say, look, Leighton, you know we love you, but don't break the bank on us. And you know that if you continue to play, we're gonna take care of you with some incentives or something, but don't break the bank. But I do want you here. So I say, yeah, we keep him.
Yeah, I say the same. Got to keep him. We got 6 linebackers on the team right now, 2 which are free agents.
Mhm.
2 others who we have no idea on what they actually are. And then we got one guy, Damon Clark, which
Mhm.
is on the ascendance, but he's not there yet. I'm not ready to depend on him week in and week out. So Luke Gifford and Jabril Cox are our third string linebackers.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, and we've talked about it before, for whatever reason, Jabril Cox cannot get on the field. So
Yeah.
we can't depend on him. Luke Gifford is basically a special teams player.
Yeah.
Nothing, I guess nothing more than that at this point. Anthony Barr, we're going to talk about here soon. And of course, you got Michael Parsons, who's the other. And of course, the Cowboys are into this 4-2-5 type of defense. So we
Right.
really only play with 2 linebackers.
Right.
So if you have Micah and you have Leighton as your starters, and linebacker is one of the positions I think we need to upgrade at in the draft.
Mhm.
I'm cool with paying Leighton to stay. Now, again, he made $2 million last year. How crazy is he gonna get with his command? What he's gonna command? 5-6 million a year over 3-4 years. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. But
Okay.
let's don't get crazy.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
I want you, but let's
Exactly.
not get crazy.
Exactly.
So there we are with Van Der Esch, LVE. Next up is as I just spoke about, Anthony Barr, 30 years old, be 31 next year. Um, Up and down, I would say this year. I would probably go ahead and let him walk. I think I can replace him in the draft. I can get what I got from him from a draft pick and hopefully from Damon Clark as he gets into his second year. What do you think?
this is the first one where we disagree.
Yay.
I say we keep him.
All right.
Now to your point though, just like we said with Leighton, okay, Bart, don't don't break the bank, brother. Don't break the bank. Let's negotiate. Let's talk about this. But we just said, um, my linebacker core is basically a one man team that plays linebacker and D line. That's Michael Parsons. Leighton, who is a little injury prone. We got to say he's a little injury prone. So I do need someone who can at least stand in there. Barr had 35 solo tackles and 1 sack. Mm-hmm. He is definitely serviceable. Mm-hmm. So hang on, Barr. Don't break the bank. I say we keep him. And to your point, if we talking, we're talking a few extra mil. He's getting roughly about $2 million now, 1.9 if my numbers are correct. But if he's going to ask me for, 6, 7, 8 mil a year, I'm gonna say, Bart, go out there and see if somebody else is going to pay you that, and then come back and talk to me.
Yeah.
So, but I do want to keep it.
All right. Mm-hmm. How about 41-year-old Jason Peters?
Jason Peters, I say no. I love you, Jason Peters, but you are going to be 42 years old. An offensive lineman that that I had picked up off the couch. Now you were serviceable. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You were serviceable, but you're getting ready to be 42 years old. And I got somebody last year that I thought I was going to have to build up to turn into a beast for me, and that was Tyler Smith. So with that being said, I got a little confidence in myself that if I do need to go get me another offensive lineman, my scout team is going to find me another diamond in the rough. So at 42 years old, if you're going to come and ask me for, 3-4 mil, I can't do it. So I got to let him go. What say you?
Yeah, same way. I like what he gave us, but it was obvious that you had to be pretty careful with how many minutes you give him this year with the games that he played. I mean, he's 41 years old, so he's not going to be able to give you much. It's probably not going to play a full game. So I'm cool with getting younger left tackle, but the tackle is another position that we probably need to address, because if you look right now where we got to tackle, got Tyler Smith, we got Tyron Smith, we got Terrence Steele, we got Josh Ball. And Josh Ball and Jason Peters, they need to be upgraded for sure. And then even Tyron Smith, you got Tyron Smith who's 31 or 32, going on 53 with all the injuries with all the injuries that he's had.
Yeah.
So you can't depend on him. So that's another position that we probably need to be addressing in the draft. So I'm cool with letting Jason Peters walk, but loved having him, and he did help a brother out this year.
Absolutely.
CJ Godwin, or CJ Goodwin. I don't know why I call him Godwin. CJ Goodwin, cornerback, 33 years old, 1.7 million last year. What do you think?
This is what I say. And I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record here. This is the first person that I'm going to say maybe. Maybe. And this is why. 33 years old. He's not asking for a heck of a lot of money. And I need some cornerbacks. Yeah. I can't go too far lower than my cornerbacking skills at this time. As you said, though, Deron Bland is playing his butt off, and I can have him be a strict corner, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous about my corners, so I got to keep it. He only played in 7 games last year, and he was good when he was playing. And dare I say, more than just being good, he was he wasn't a mistake getting ready to happen. And every now and again, Anthony Brown looked like a mistake getting ready to happen, depending on who they put on him. So I think we negotiate with him. We say, look, Goodwin, come on back, brother. We're gonna give you your just due. We're gonna pay you some money, but you are not Diggs. You are not a free agent like Ramsey coming out of the Rams. But you're a good player, and you are 33 years old. Okay, you're 33 years old. You're getting ready. You're gonna have to face some 20 something 20 something 4-3 receivers coming out. So I say we negotiate with him, but a maybe. What say you?
He is one of our best special teams players.
True.
But he's pretty low on the depth chart when it comes to cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would probably go ahead and let him walk, to be honest.
Okay.
We know that we're going to address the cornerback spot in the draft. Probably 2 or 3 cornerbacks. So it's not going to be room for everybody. I mean, if you talk about cornerback depth wise, I think we're not horrible depth wise when it comes to corner. I mean, well, it's so. I mean, you got let's see, if we let Anthony Brown walk, we're looking at Trayvon Diggs, we're looking at Deron Bland, Nashawn Wright, Kelvin Joseph, and then possibly McQuamu, because he can go cornerback safety. He plays both spots. So he's a cornerback safety. So if you talk about ranking them, you've got Diggs, Bland, and probably McQuamu as 1, 2, 3. And then Godwin will never see the field. He will pretty much he'll pretty much always be a special teams guy. We can always get the special teams guys, even though he's one of the best special teams guys that we have on the team. Him and Luke Gifford is another one that I said at some point we'll probably have to let him walk probably next year whenever he comes as free agent. So I'm good with CJ Goodwin with walking. We'll let him walk unless again he's going to give us a huge discount. He made 1.7 something last year. He wants to make $1 million this year for 2 years. I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that. Next up is Jonathan Hankins. What do you think about Jonathan Hankins, defensive tackle?
We almost have to keep him, don't we?
Almost have to, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm looking at this incorrectly, but he showed us that he wasn't a dominant run stopper, but he was
definitely capable.
Yeah, he was definitely capable, even after being in the league for 10 years. So I say we got to keep him. And his salary was less than $1 million last year. His salary is like I want to say close to about 800,000. If
what do they have him listed? They had him as they had him listed at 1.3 last year, 1.325. Yeah,
so 1.3, but that was with guaranteed money and incentives. I think his base was about.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. So for that amount of money, and to be a potential run stopper, or at least to help us with the run, and to know what our defensive line is looking like, I say you almost have to keep it. So I say yeah, we negotiate and we keep us some Hankins. What do you say?
Yeah, he's probably our best defensive tackle right now. Him, Watkins, Odigizua. I like where we're at defensive tackle wise. We probably could get a little bit better. There's talk of Neville Gallimore. He's fallen off a little bit, and there's talk that he may get traded. Bohanna doesn't give us a whole lot. He's probably about a second. He's about what he is as a second string defensive tackle.
Right.
So yeah, I'll definitely keep Hankins.
There we go.
He saved us from a run defense standpoint.
Yeah.
late in the season. So that
It
was
could
that.
It could have been a disaster without him.
Yeah,
Trying to stop the
one
run.
of the best moves that the Joneses made last year was bringing was trading for Hankins. So yeah, we got to keep him. Again, all of these guys, it's all relative to what they're asking. They're asking for. If they start trying to get broke off, and Hankins making 1.3 last year, he got asking for $10 million a year. Come on, dog.
Come on, dog.
No way. No
Can't
way.
do it.
Not even that's not even in the conversation.
Mm-mm.
Hankins stays. All right. Jake McQuaid, long snapper. Yes. I have nothing else to say about that. How about you?
See, I said we have another long snapper.
Oh, we have that's right. Because Jake McQuaid got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude brought in another guy.
Yeah.
Matt Overton. Yeah, he's coming up. Let's just go and knock both of them out right now. Matt Overton he's 37. Jake McQuaid is 35. Let's keep the youngest dude and the cheapest dude. Let's see.
And the cheapest
is
Overton. No,
the cheapest is Overton, but he's the oldest.
I won't Overton because McQuaid, he's getting $100,000 more, and he tore up a pec or a tricep or something.
The beauty about Overton is that I never heard his name all year.
Exactly.
So if you don't hear a long snapper's name, he's doing something right. Kind of like the refs.
He's doing his job. He's doing his job getting out of there. So I'm letting Jake go. I'm letting Jake McQuaid go.
And keeping Matt Overton. Cool. Yeah. All right. We got long snappers knocked off. We can sleep good tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Noah Brown. Ooh.
This is gonna be
how much time we got?
Okay.
This is gonna be crazy. I'll let you go first. Noah Brown.
Oh my God. Okay. Now I know that in 5 minutes before we started this cast, we said we were not going to talk about draft picks.
Right.
I'm going to stay to that, but I'm just going to add the caveat of I gotta get me a receiver in the draft, even if it's somebody that's I don't think is proven but just got potential. Noah Brown, he wasn't targeted a lot, but he didn't show me that he was that he was a oh my God, a reliable route runner, a reliable hands that he could be a definitive playmaker in my passing core, even at the number 2 or number 3 receiver. He didn't show me that. Now, his salary is only 1.1. Am I correct? 1.1, 1.2, something like that.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. 1.1.
So, so it's not a lot of money, but I got to get somebody to play with CD, and I just don't think Noah Brown is the man who's going to play with CD. So with that being said, I say we can let him go. We can replace him. What say you?
Wide receiver is easily the biggest need on this team right now.
Correct.
If you think of CeeDee Lamb as your number 1, Michael Gallup your number 2, Noah Brown your number 3, T.Y. Hilton your 4, Jalen Tolbert your 5, and then Kevontae Turpin your 6. That's easily the one position that needs the biggest upgrade on this team.
Absolutely.
So there's no way I can bring back Noah Brown. See, the problem with Noah Brown is while people start to think that he was doing something this year is that he hadn't done anything. I mean, literally nothing since he's been here.
Exactly.
So there was no way to go down. He was only going to go up. There's only one way. It's going to be up.
Exactly.
So that's the problem with Noah Brown. He looked good only because you have a history of him looking like nothing.
Exactly. He caught 43. He was targeted 73 times. He caught 43 for 555 yards. Half of a K in yardage. So if you're only going to get 500 yards, it has to be a good 500. It has to be a good 500. But to your point, he didn't get anywhere close to that last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, he really had nowhere to go but up. But if you don't have anywhere to go but up, and you got Gallup coming off of an injury, and you got CD, we're forcing the ball to him. Noah, you should have been making a splash, baby. You should have been making a real splash, and I just can't say he did that.
And that Jacksonville drop in overtime didn't help his matters either.
No, did not.
Huge. That was huge.
Yes.
So yeah, there's no way I can resign him. Even if he wanted less money. No, you taking up a roster spot that we need a major upgrade at.
There you go.
So yeah, he probably has to walk. Carlos Watkins next up.
Let me see. I say
Another defensive tackle.
yeah. Are we considering him a D tackle or DN? We consider him
Yeah, they have him
tackle.
listed as a DN, but I think he plays primarily inside.
Okay. I'm going to see. I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep him. I'm not going to break the bank, but I'm going to keep him because of what we talked about earlier in our defensive line. If for us to upgrade in the defensive line, we got to get somebody who is a bona fide beast. And I think we're too low in the draft to get a bona fide beast. And if we're going to pay the money, then pay the money and get a beast up in here. So with that being said, I say, yeah, you have to keep him unless you're going to do one of those two things, which are risky. Which are risky. What say you?
Yeah, as I said earlier, defensive line, either spot, either position, are not positions that I want to address in this draft because we got too many other things to be worried about. So we addressed it last year with Sam Williams. We picked up Jonathan Hankins in a trade. So I say we just stay where we're at when it comes to the defensive line. He made 1.1 last year. As long as that doesn't get crazy, sign him up again so that we don't fall back at the defensive line position because we have to address some other needs, primarily wide receiver, primarily running back, and other things, cornerback, and we don't have time to be dealing with defensive tackle. They weren't terrible. I mean, Hankins did what he had to do at the defensive tackle position to stop the run. Defensive end wasn't terrible because again, you still got Michael Parsons there. So let's not just fall back when it comes to defensive line. Let's just keep it where it is. So I'm cool with Carlos Watkins getting paid again. Luke Gifford was another one, linebacker. Again, he kind of falls in line with CJ Goodwin. He's primarily a special teams player.
Right.
And linebacker is definitely going to be one of those spots that we probably need to address in the draft. Right. So I'm okay with letting him walk. He's probably not going to be more than what he's been giving you at this point, 27 years old. So Gifford and Barr, for me, I would probably say walk. You said Barr should probably stay. And what do you say about Gifford?
I'm okay with letting him walk. Yeah, I'm okay with letting him walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's an interesting one. Cooper Rush. Real interesting. So as we know,
interesting.
Yeah. So as we know, he played 5 games, looked average at best in 4 of them, not a disaster in 4 of them, then became Cooper Rush in his 5th one. There was talk that with his run that, what's going to happen with Cooper Rush? I know these other teams are watching him. Is he going to get a payday at the end of the season? Given that the Cowboys were winning, went 4-1 with him. Are there other teams that's going to look at him and take him off our hands so that we don't need to make a decision on Cooper Rush? What do you think?
I say we give the boy a little bit of money, not a ton. I want to keep him. Cooper Rush did for me exactly what I want my backup quarterback to do? Don't screw up. Win games and don't screw up. Don't be the superstar. Don't try to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I just need you to manage the game, run the plays, don't screw up, and just slowly move the ball down the field and let my defense win the game, unless you can manage to get me 2 or 3 drives to where you can put some points on the board. And if you do that, thank you. And also, don't don't um don't pretend like you're more than what you are. And he never did. He never did. In his interviews and everything, he was like, "Look, y'all, this is Dak's team. I know it's Dak's team. I'm doing my job.
Yep, that's true.
I'm doing my job. Now, am I a competitor? Yes, and you see it out on the field, but I'm doing my job. So I say you pay him. I also went so far as to look up the other 32 backup quarterbacks for all of the other teams. There were only a couple that I said, okay, I would take him over Cooper Rush. The rest of them, I was going, okay, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in another. So I say we pay him a little money, we keep him. What say you?
I'm on the fence with this one, to be honest.
There you go. There you go, D-Dub.
Keep yeah, this is one. Yeah, this is one of the few that I could say I'm definitely on the fence with. On the one hand, everything you said was correct. He is exactly what you want from your backup quarterback. On the other hand, I'm thinking we can get a better backup quarterback, which, quiet as it's kept, I don't want to say it, but everybody says it. But I'll go along with these other people. Maybe we need somebody to push Dak Prescott. Maybe we need a backup to push Dak Prescott a little bit. Not to take his job, but for him to look over his shoulder and watch this other guy do what he does in training camp, and kind of have a fear that, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, if I throw 16, 17 more interceptions in a year, I might get sat down for this other guy. So
who are you talking about that could be that?
Somebody out of college, as a draft pick. But that's the other problem. The other problem is, do you want to spend draft capital on a backup when we got all these other issues that we need to address? When we could easily just sign Cooper Rush up for another year or two.
See,
for $1 million, $2 million a year. That's the dilemma you have with Cooper Rush.
And that's why I like Cooper Rush.
So you don't want anybody to push Dak Prescott?
I don't think he needs it.
Nope.
I don't think he needs it.
Delicious. Really? Yes. Okay. All right. All right. We'll leave it at that. I'm sure we'll get back to that going forward.
You know what I think he needs, and I got my wish. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
So you got your Christmas present. All right.
I got my Christmas present.
All right. So I'm gonna. You had a maybe. I'm gonna have a maybe here until down the road.
No, I want him to see what happens. I'm assigning him. I'm not a maybe. I'm give Cooper Rush his money and tell him, be the backup that I need you to be.
Okay, it remains a dilemma for me, so I'm gonna keep it at maybe.
Okay.
What next shouldn't be a maybe for each of us on the next one? Brett Maher. This should be the shortest review of any of these 21 players.
See, that's what makes a podcast a good one. That's what makes it a good one. I think this conversation is going to be slightly longer than you think it needs to be.
All right.
They called him Money Maher for a reason.
Yep.
And up until the very end of the season, he had a stellar season.
He did.
Stellar. And if I'm correct, made 2 or 3 kicks that were some of the longest in the league. Close to 60 yarders. Mm-hmm. One of them, I think it was a 61 yard.
Yep.
Okay. And there was a time when he got on the field, we were like, oh, we put that's 3. That's 3 when he got on the field. Here comes the problem though. he he imploded on himself
Mm-hmm.
in the last 2 games. Imploded. Where is his mindset? Where is his mentality? What is this man thinking? And the very first PAT or field goal that he missed next year, the very first one, we're gonna be asking for his head on the platter. So
That's
for
why.
that reason,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's not even go through that drama. Give me another kicker. He got to go.
Okay, I was afraid of where you're going with that. All right, definitely. I thought you were saying let's go ahead and keep him until he misses the first, or then let him go, or something like that. But no, we cannot go through this again. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't go through this again.
We can't.
Just the fact that, I mean, yeah, he could play. He can come next year and have 10 great games and not do anything crazy again for until the end of the season, right? Still not worth it. Just cut bait right now. Get somebody else. Get somebody younger who doesn't possibly have something going on with him, right? That we know about, because we know about Brett Maher, right? Let him go somewhere else, and hopefully he can do what be Money Maher again. But I wanted to start
let me
fresh.
tell you, I will tell you that this is one of the very, very, very few players that I would even say this. Watch him go somewhere else and make every kick, every PAT the whole year.
Make the Hall of Fame as a kicker.
Exactly.
All right, no Maher, never again. All right, Connor McGovern, another interesting one. In fact, we got a lot of interesting ones coming up. Probably the most interesting ones coming up. Connor McGovern, let's start with him.
Connor, Connor, I say we got to pay him. We got to pay him.
Wow.
Because, well, let me think about that.
Yeah, I think he had an okay season. He was better. Remember going into the season, I said Connor McGovern was probably our biggest issue.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, he was a bigger issue.
You and I both wanted the center to be wanted the center to be our number one pick.
Right.
And almost threw something at our televisions when they picked Tyler.
Yeah.
And then Connor McGovern goes out and plays a very good year.
In fact, I think on one of our podcasts, I said our top 10 biggest mistakes, or not mistakes, but biggest concerns or biggest problems.
Mm-hmm.
And Connor McGovern was one, and Biotish was 2 on my list, I believe.
Yep.
So given that, yeah, they exceeded my expectations, both of them.
Absolutely.
It's just about how much money he wants.
Yeah. You got to pay him. So it's how much he wants, but when you think about it, and right now his salary is 2.5, right? 2.5 mil.
Now I have 900,000 last year.
Oh, 900,000. Then wait. Then I must have looked something up wrong. But I'm thinking we need to pay him now. We need to pay him. Let me look that back. Let me look at see what we have. No. You're right. I must have had a typo or something here. 904. So 900,000 was his salary.
See, the problem here is free agency comes before the draft. Of course, I mean, if you want to consider that a problem, you got to make your decision on these guys before going into the draft.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. They wanted you to play a chess game.
Yeah,
the owners wanted you to play a chess game and see who's the best at it.
Yeah. So, depending upon how much money he wants, I'm willing to bring him back, and probably still drafts for a guard and a tackle this year, if nothing else, for depth purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would sign him based upon what he did last year and the amount of money he's wanting. You the same?
There you go. Yep, I'm the same.
All right, T.Y. Hilton. What you think?
Well, see, we had a good conversation about our wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With that being said, I'm willing to sign him to another 1-year contract. But further than that, he's going to ask for some money that I don't want to give him. Now, don't get me wrong. He came and did some good things for me. But if you're talking about a 3-year deal worth, 6-7 mil, I can't do that. I can't do that. So I say he is a strong maybe, unless he's willing to sign a 1-year contract for a little money and seriously compete for being on the field, being on the field as that number 2 against Michael Gallup and all this good stuff. So that's my take on him is a strong maybe. Strong maybe. What say you?
Yeah, I'm the same. If he wants to do this thing over for one more year and keep the money around 800 to 1.2, I think he made 800 last year. I'd say 800 to like 1.2 a year for 1 year. I'm cool with that. No issues. He is 33 years old. So he can give some type of leadership in that wide receiver room. So there is value, I guess, in that. So yeah, T.Y. Hilton, I'll definitely bring him back as a 4th, potentially 5th receiver.
Well, and what if he says, "No, I'm going to play another 3 years, and I want to end my career with the Dallas Cowboys. So give me a 3-year contract, and make it give me a 3-year contract, 7.5 mil, with 4 mil guaranteed."
I'm not ready to commit that type of money to T.Y. Hilton right now.
See, I'm not either. So I'm
because
hoping he's okay
because
with
wide
that.
receiver is going to be one of those positions that we should go deep and heavy in the draft. Not only the draft, but in free agency as well.
Yeah. See, I agree.
Yeah. So I'm not willing to commit that much to Ty. All right. And the biggest name on our list, not the last name, but the biggest name on our list, Tony Pollard, running back. Again, should be the fastest review that we've had here.
And it will be. You better pay Tony Pollard. If you don't pay Tony Pollard, you don't have a running back.
Right.
and dare I say, he has the upper hand right now. You don't think he's been listening to the pundits as well? You don't think he's been listening to the Cowboys Plus Fan podcast? Ezekiel Elliott is getting us 2 yards a carry.
You know what's funny with that?
What's that?
Zeke is actually making, he averaged like 3 yards a carry last year. Still not a lot, but it's more than what we thought it was. He had a better year than I thought he did after I looked at his numbers. But at the end of the year, he looked like he shouldn't even be in a uniform, to be honest. That right there is an example of the numbers not telling the whole story.
Yeah.
When we talk about facts, figures, logic, right?
Yeah.
And how numbers can be somewhat deceiving. I think he averaged 3.8 yards a carry, and he had like 600 yards on the season. Didn't even seem like it.
Was it that high?
Yeah, let's bring it up. Let's bring it up just to be cute, just to be for sure.
Let's see Zeke stats. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. He did run for 800
yards. Yeah. Blew me away. I'm like, where'd that 800 yards go?
No kidding.
And how many yards per carry? 3.8.
You're right. You're right. 3.8.
Didn't seem like it.
Right? It did not seem like it.
Now here's the problem. It didn't
seem like it at all.
Your boy Stephen Jones said, "Well, Zeke didn't see a drop off that much." That's what he said. Is he right?
No, he's
still not right.
No.
Did he watch any of the games? Did he watch any of the games in December?
I don't know what the heck he was watching.
I mean, if you take just the numbers alone, you'd say it was an okay season. It wasn't a great season, but it was an okay season. No, that's not what I saw. I did not see that season this year. That is an example of facts, figures, and logic and data giving you a deception.
Because I mean, I'm looking at his stats right now. In 2016, he ran for 1,600 yards and led the league.
Exactly.
2017, he took a slight drop off because I think he got hurt 1 or 2 games. He got 983 yards. Then he came back in 2018 and 2019, 1,400 yards and 1,300 yards, 1,434 and 1,357. And then he went for, in 2020, just under 1,000 for 979. Then he went back to 1,000 in 2021. Then he dropped off to 876. And to your very valid point, if someone would have asked me how many yards did Zeke run for this year,
I
and
could have
someone
sworn it was like
said,
500.
oh, I would have sworn it was, I would have said maybe 620.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
So
shocked when
yeah,
I looked at that. Yeah.
yeah. So definitely drop off.
So yeah, Tony Pollard, got to bring him back.
Yeah.
Now, you said that the ball is in his court, or that he has the leverage.
Yeah, I say he has, this is why I say he has the leverage, because of what we just spoke about. Unless Steven knows something that you and I don't know, we all saw that Tony Pollard was the Dallas Cowboy running back last year,
Yeah.
not Zeke.
Yeah.
And if we think our eyes are not lying to us, if we don't sign Tony Pollard, we don't our running back room, our running back meeting room is a washed up or washing or falling off of cliff Zeke. No Tony Pollard. And what's our third? His name is slipping my mind right now.
Malik Davis and
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle was the other two.
Yeah, Malik Davis and Rico Dowdle didn't even carry the ball last year, not once.
Yeah. The problem here is I don't think he has the leverage because we still have that free agent, that franchise tag situation.
Okay,
so he doesn't. He doesn't fully have.
There
it.
you go. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so which is
I stand
probably
correct.
which is probably what's going to happen with him, given what he's probably going to demand.
No, you're absolutely no. You have corrected me, and you're absolutely right. We will franchise Tony Pollard, and it's going to be a situation to where the Cowboys are essentially in a pay him now, pay him later type of thing. Because if we franchise him, he's going to get some money. He's going to be franchised for what, something around
10,
12.
11.
I was going to say about 12.
I don't know if it's that much, but it could be. It could be, yeah.
Okay.
10 to 12, somewhere around there.
Now think about Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard was making less than $1 million. Am I correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's getting ready to get 10. He's getting ready to get 10 times the money that he was making in 1 year, at least.
At least anywhere he goes, whether we franchise him, whether we sign him, or whether he goes somewhere else, or we let him walk. Either way, he's going to get broke off right now.
He's going to get broke off. So if we franchise him and he plays well, which he's going to be incentivized to do, because he's going to say, look, you give me 10 million. I've been busting my butt for 900,000. You give me 10 million at least, and I think it's going to be closer to 12 million. Okay. Then I play again. Oh, guess what I'm going to ask for the following year? And if you don't give it to me, then the other teams in the NFL are going to give me even more than that. Mm-hmm. I ain't mad at it. Tony Pollard is in a good position. He's in a good position. So yeah, definitely keep it.
Yeah, definitely got to keep him. It just depends on what that's going to look like. Is it going to be a franchise at 10 to 12, or is it possible that he could say, okay, I know you all are in a tough spot. You got a lot of free agents to sign. You got Dak that probably needs to be restructured. I'll take $8 million and over 4 years or whatever, and with a hefty guaranteed number. That very well may happen. And if that happens, then we still have that franchise tag to use on somebody else. So it'd be interesting to see who else we would possibly use it on.
That's true.
So either way, we got to keep Tony Pollard. There's no way we could let him get up out of here, even
At
with
all.
the injury.
Yeah.
And he should probably be good to go by training camp. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I mean, he's in a perfect position where he's at. Either way he goes, anything that happens is going to come up roses for him right now.
Exactly.
All right, next up, and I didn't even know this guy was a free agent, but that's what Google says. Terrence Steele.
Yeah. He's one of your restricted free agents.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
He's
right. Yeah, that's
yeah.
listed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a restricted free agent. So which basically means that uh he can whatever he gets on the open market, we have the potential to match it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we will definitely match it, whatever he comes, which is, I hate to say it, it's kind of a good thing that he's coming off an injury, because that
Mhm.
almost means that other people will be afraid to give him too much money. If
Yeah.
anybody wants to give him too much money, give him any money.
Yeah.
So they're not going to, no other team will not going to break the bank on him, probably.
Yeah, I think number one, you do bring him back, and I think we're going, because of the restrictions that he's under right now with the restricted free agent tag. I think we're going to give him a significant raise, but it's not going to break the bank. And he played well. We need him. He's definitely coming back.
Yeah, I'll definitely bring him back as well. We should be able to match anything that anybody else wants to give him. This we have a little dilemma on the offensive line, and we'll have to discuss that going forward. What do you do with Tyler Smith? What do you do with Tyron Smith? What's going to happen at guard with Connor McGovern?
Mhm.
The only real sure things on that line remain Zach Martin and probably Biotish at this point.
Yeah.
So the other three positions is kind of up for debate, so to speak. So that'll be interesting going forward. So Terrence Steele, yes, sir, no doubt. All right, the other one, we've got two more. Rico Dowdle, running back.
Yeah.
Keep or
And
let go.
he's also a restricted free agent.
Yeah, restricted. Yeah.
Yeah. And because of what I said earlier, I think they're going to let him. They're going to say, "Hey, get out there and see what you can get, dude."
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Rico never touched the ball.
Yeah. He
He's
was
a
hurt
run.
a lot. He was hurt a lot last year, though.
Yeah, as a running back coming out of South Carolina, I don't think he's seen any play on a professional football field without unless you're talking about special team.
Yeah, I think he's played preseason, but I don't think he's had one run in the regular season
Yeah. So
in the NFL. So
yeah, we're gonna say, hey Rico, see what you can do, baby, because we don't see what you can do because we don't even know what you can
yeah,
do.
exactly. We want to see what you can do too.
Exactly.
The running back spot, if wide receiver is our number one priority, I would say our number two priority is running back.
Yeah.
Um, and again, we're not talking any draft stuff today, but there are some running backs that or free agents in that instance, but there are some running backs coming out of this draft that makes me really comfortable with letting Rico Dowdle go ahead and go out and see what he can get and not match whatever he gets somewhere else. So I don't think running back is going to be too much of a concern going forward. So yeah, Rico Dowdle, you can probably walk and get what you can get on the open market. And our last one, if Tony Pollard was number one, this is the number two biggest one. Donovan Wilson.
Pay the man.
Easily.
Pay the man.
That's all, folks. Good night.
Yeah,
Pay this dude. Really? Why is he even at this position right now? We should already signed him up.
Absolutely. And
We should have
he
already
was
signed him
making
up.
900,000 last year.
No, he's making six. I have 6,000, 600,000.
600,000. Okay, that other was I guess signing bonus and incentives or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wow, man.
Not only sign him, but sign for whatever he wants.
Oh yeah, exactly. I loved it.
How much safeties? What are the highest paid safeties this year? Let's just go and take a look at this, and we'll get up out of here.
Okay. Highest paid safety. Oh, Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Minkah Fitzpatrick at Pittsburgh. Yeah.
For 22 mil. 22 mil.
Let's see, what year was this? Okay, Derwin James at 19. Jamal Adams at 17. Wow, could have had him, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Derwin James we could have had as well in the draft. I don't remember how it went down. He was another one. We don't even talk about Earl Thomas anymore. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
We were dying to get some Earl Thomas up in there, but he kind of fell off. I think with the legal system. So yeah, Donovan Wilson. If he wants anything under 15 a year, I'm cool with it.
Do it.
15 or less, I'm cool with.
Do it.
So yeah, let's get that done. That's him. And so of these on this list, what are the definites that we definitely got to get done?
Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Donovan Wilson.
LVE.
LVE. Yeah, those are the three that
Those are definites.
And Hankins, right?
Yeah, I would
Jonathan
say
Hankins.
Hankins as well. Any of the other ones is up for grabs.
Yeah, up for discussion, as they say.
Yeah, yeah.